Putin-style conflict with Guyana is something the dictator of Venezuela is aiming for. Nicolas Maduro is looking to add more trophies to his collection, which already includes accusations of drug trafficking, terrorism, ecocide, and crimes against humanity. His latest goal is to launch an aggressive war against the tiny neighboring nation of Guyana. Following a contentious referendum in September 2022, Maduro reiterated on December 3 the Russian formula that had allegedly led to the illegal annexation of 4 regions of Ukraine. As a cowardly tactic by Maduro to bury his shortcomings and unpopularity, the Venezuelan regime also held a referendum on whether or not to seize Guyana's Essequibo region. Venezuela is defending the 1966 Geneva Accords, while Guyana is clinging to the so-called 1899 Paris Arbitral Award. This is similar to territorial disputes between other countries in the region. The only difference is that the authoritarian government of Venezuela wants to use military force to settle the conflict rather than adhere to international law. The true goal of Maduro is to overcome the disappointment caused by the primary election victory of opposition candidate Maria Corina Machado. This unexpected territorial ambition is the tyrant's way of invoking Chavez and calling for patriotism, both of which will serve to divert attention away from the landslide and make the public forget about it. Reviving the less unpopular Chavez is Maduro's only option, despite the Venezuelan people's loathing of him. While threatening and tantruming Guyana, Maduro does not rule out stealing. Oil, gas, and gold abound in Guyana. The threats made by Maduro are significant, despite the fact that he does not have the means or the strength to launch a war. The Cuban dictatorship, Maduro's sole ally for many years, has rejected his request. A lasting effect of dictator Fidel Castro's rule is the country's close relationship with Guyana. At the same time, China claims that war is bad for commerce. Brazil, which shares a border with both nations, urged Maduro to avoid unilateral moves and instead pursue diplomatic solutions. The only dictatorship that could possibly back Maduro is Putin's dictatorship. Both sides engage in clandestine military cooperation, cybercrime, espionage, and have the tenuous but potentially harmful support of the Wagner Group's mercenaries. U.S. Support for Guyana's sovereignty was reaffirmed in a conversation between Secretary of State Antony J. Blinken and Guyanese President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali. Until the parties come to a new agreement or a competent legal body decides differently, Blinken emphasized that all parties should respect the 1899 arbitral award that determined the land boundary between Venezuela and Guyana. He emphasized the need for a peaceful resolution to the dispute. Additionally, President Ali and Blinken cited an order from the International Court of Justice dated December 1, which urged the parties to avoid doing anything that could prolong or worsen the conflict. However, Maduro isn't just trying to expand his territory, he's also trying to artificially boost his support by stoking nationalist fervor and a flag rally. Whether or not Venezuela's war games are genuine, they provide an excuse to postpone elections, step up persecution, censor the church, and punish dissent with exile, trial, or imprisonment. A new point of imbalance and conflict in the Americas will be created if the Venezuelan regime succeeds. After the world was rocked by the wars in Ukraine and Gaza, it will open a third front. The meetings between Nicolas Maduro and Irfan Ali, the president of Guyana, last week were fruitless. In an effort to resolve the conflict, no one proposed a shift in stance or took any tangible steps. We will need to observe how the pledge to reduce aggressive language plays out, but it was a modest but noteworthy accomplishment. Under the guise of Chavismo, Maduro's Venezuela is threatening a regional war that would devastate security and prosperity. The Americas must remain a peaceful zone. Maduro must not be given the chance to transform them into yet another Theatropolis.